Hello everybody and welcome back. So today I'm going to be filming an almost full face of new makeup. I think I'm only missing a concealer and a bronzer. But other than that, today's video is going to be jam-packed, full of fun newness. There has been so many new and exciting things launching as of late, as there usually is around the holidays. So I'm excited to dive into them. But before we do, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. So I'm finally going to be trying out this base routine today. This is the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer as well as the Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. So I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna go in with the primer first, of course. Don't know how much to use. I'll go in with that much. That might be a little too much. It smells like glue. What? Like immediately Elmer's glue, maybe not the liquid one, but the one that's in a stick. This is what it smells like. That's throwing me off right away. I just let the primer settle down just because I felt like it needed to dry up a little bit, and it did, and now it looks a lot more blurring instead of super dewy and illuminating. So this is what it looked like freshly applied on the back of my hand there, and I wanted to compare it in a swatch next to the Iconic London Radiance Booster. So that's what I did on this hand. So this is the Radiance Booster, and right here is the primer swatched. It does have a very fine pearl in it, so you can see the differences there, just in case if you were wondering what they looked like compared to one another. I do like it. Right when I applied it, I didn't see any blurring qualities, but now that I let it set down, I feel like it evened out my skin and it looks really pretty. I like it. I really like the super fine pearl it has. It's illuminating in the best way. It's not glittery or anything, it just looks healthy and moisturized. And I really like the texture of it. It felt super silky and it spread out really nicely. So now let's go into the blurring skin tint. I have the shade Warm Fair. Let's see, it says to shake. So this skin tint is described as a lightweight, ultra-hydrating skin tint that delivers a blurred and flawless satin matte, second skin, long-wearing finish up to 12 hours. So a lot of claims here. A natural finish, light coverage, as you would expect a skin tint to have. Oh, it's time to be real, you guys. Smile. All So I'm just gonna squirt some onto my palette here. That was a lot. Already, it's very messy at the tip. All good though. One little wipe and it's fine. I'm going to apply it with a brush. This is a Moda complexion brush. Ooh, okay. I really like that. Although it's not properly applied, it feels really nice going on. And it's just blurring away my imperfections there. I don't usually try out a new primer and a new foundation in one, but since these kind of launched together, I'm making an exception. That is so pretty going on, and it's a perfect match. It feels really nice going on as well. It feels very cooling, and it feels nice and buildable. I'm building it up in the areas where I want more coverage, and it's doing it flawlessly. I am excited about this. I hope it wears well, because this feels so promising. Just going to run everything over with a beauty sponge quickly. Wow, I think that's so beautiful. Of course, it only looks weird on my dry area right here, but everywhere else it looks... I don't have a descriptive word to describe how I'm feeling right now. Now for my concealer, I'm using my Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer in the shade Chicory. I'm just gonna use a touch of this. Wow, I am so excited about this skin tint, you guys. I can't reiterate that enough. And I feel like my skin has been looking textured like this week, and I feel like this really smoothed it out, but I still look illuminated. Like this is my desired skin look right now, especially for every day because it's still kind of see-through. I am enthralled. I am all of it. I am everything. I am speechless. Laura Mercier came out with a new translucent powder. This is the Ultra Blur powder. We'll check it out. How could it go wrong? I actually was never a fan of the original loose setting powder from Laura Mercier. I just found it to be a little too cakey for my liking, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm just going to set my under eyes for the moment, but I'm taking some on a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to set my little creasy lines right here. I mean, I think it's more blurring than the original Laura Mercier translucent powder, but it's not as blurring as other powders I have in my collection, and it's kind of yellowing my under eyes. Did you see that? So far not excited about that. We'll see how it looks on the rest of my face in a little bit. For my bronzer, I picked my Trinny London Golden Glow Bronzer in the shade Gaia. I haven't touched this in probably over a year, which is odd because I am so in love with the highlighter. This has kind of gotten forgotten, obviously, so I wanted to revisit it today. I'm using my rose ink brush to apply this. I am currently very sad that I haven't used this in that long. Are you kidding? That is so pretty. I feel like it makes me look naturally bronzed. I'm gonna have to set this on my desk so I implement it back into my routine. That is too pretty not to. So now for my blush and highlighter, I actually picked up the new Patrick Ta Holiday Palette. This time it's a little bit different than last year's. There are still 2 duos in here, but now he included a highlighting duo, which is new and exciting. I was gonna say that he doesn't have any highlighters, but he literally launched his brand with a ton, but I haven't tried any. I am a little hesitant though. Now seeing this in person, it does have a little bit of a different consistency. I'm talking about the blushes here. They seem to be shimmery. All of the other duos I already own do have a little bit of a sheen, but it's a super finely milled pigment. But these I see little flecks, especially obvious in the cream highlighter. Hopefully my camera will be able to pick it up. I did take a product shot of this already, just so you can see it clear. We'll see. I'm going to quickly swatch the palette and then we'll try it out. So here is this year's palette swatched. They are very different. So this is like an actual shimmery blush, and the cream sides are a lot sheerer than other duos. And the highlighter, I don't like the powder side. I know I'm not going to like the powder side, but the balm side actually looks quite nice. It doesn't look like a glitter balm like I expected. It's actually the opposite. I thought I was going to initially like the powder, but it looks super, super sparkly and glimmery and glittery, which does fit like the holiday aesthetic, not my aesthetic. And I did go ahead and swatch last year's palette, which I'll give a side-by-side shot of the palette as well. Here is a side-by-side on the back of my hand. You can see like the cream side from last year is a lot more pigmented. Like I don't know if this would suit a lot of skin tones, whereas this one was super pigmented. It would fit anyone. And here's a side-by-side shot of the 2 palettes together. These 2 duos kind of look very similar. They're just like a diluted version. And I was excited initially when I got this palette because it does have a different finish, kind of repelled from getting all fingerprinty, but as you can see here, it's still a fingerprint crime scene, but not as much as like the original. I'm going to highlight first, and I'm just going to use my finger to apply the balm first. That is nice. I'm not usually just a balm highlighter person, but this one looks bomb. Then I'm going to take my go-to highlighting brush, the Moda Glow brush, and I'll dip slightly into that powder. I'm just tapping the excess off on the back of my hand. It does look really pretty from afar. And I'm just using the powder on its own down the bridge of my nose. Yeah, I don't like it alone. I liked it mixed in to the balm a lot more. Yeah, not my favorite highlighter, but it is pretty from far away. Now for blush, I am drawn to the middle shade. So I'm gonna start off with the powder first. That's a nice color. I enjoy that. Now I'm taking my damp beauty blender and I'm dipping into the balm side. This looks like NARS Orgasm, kind of. It has that kind of sheen to it. It has a golden pearl in there. I love the formulas of his duos because you can either put the cream on first or the powder on first and then layer the opposite on top, and it never gets patchy or weird. Magic formula. Speaking about this palette, I'm not getting that excitement out of it. I'm not enthralled by it. I much prefer last year's palette, if I'm being honest. Like, this was very me, whereas this one, I don't know if I'd get much use out of it. I think I would always reach for these duos instead. I'm not liking that shimmer inside of it. I feel like it's making my cheeks look very textured right here, which I'm sad about because my skin was looking so good with the Iconic London base. It's very shimmery, very, very shimmery. It's not for me, I don't think, you guys, which is shocking because I love Patrick Ta. I just might have to sit this one out. I'll bring you guys in as close as I can so you can hopefully see what I'm seeing. The glow is definitely capturing on camera, but I hope you can see like on the outskirts how glittery they are. Which is not my preference, but if you're wild about that and you love that, maybe you'd really enjoy this one. But for me, I know that this wouldn't be used much. I'm now revisiting my Laura Mercier powder. I'm just going to be applying it with this Royal and Nickel Balm 125 brush. Let's see how this goes on the big planes of my face. Wow, that is really nice on the forehead. That is really nice. Let's see if it can blur. I'm gonna do one side of my face here. So this is it glowy. And there's the after. Okay, that does an exceptional job on the face. Under my eyes, I think I'd just go with my Pat McGrath or my e.l.f. one, and this on my face, which I'm no stranger to. I do that most days, especially with like the cloud set and such. I like to use that on the majority of my face and something else under the eye. So this looks really, really nice. It brought back that blur that I had initially and that I was missing after I used the Patrick Ta palette. So there's this side and this side. I see a significant difference. Okay, ready? That was fun. It's kind of satisfying to powder my face. Okay, there's the shine. And there's the blur. So fun. I just whacked myself. Okay, that is gorgeous. I like it now. So now it's kitty time, so I hope you enjoy the brow intermission. I'm back. I hope you enjoyed today's brow intermission. I actually used some new shades in the Kosas brow products. I picked up the shades Auburn in both, and I like this brow look a lot more than my Revlon Color Stay and my Glossier duo. This just looks a lot more smooth. I like it better. But now for my eyes, I'm finally going to be trying out this Kaleidos collection. It's so beautiful. It's called the Night of Creation collection, and it is so pretty. I did swatch them in a past new makeup video, but these are the eyeliners that they launched. They're multi-chromes. So right now you're only seeing this one shift, but when I look at them, they change colors. Like this one over here turns green. Hopefully, if I turn my hand, you can see a little bit of the action. But they're so stunning. I especially love these two greens and these two right here. This purple is really gorgeous. And this blue is so beautiful and icy. And then I swatched the two palettes on my palm here. So this top one here is so beautiful. When I first received this collection, it felt like I had never seen this color before. I was that excited and sucked into this color story. It is so pretty. That palette is called Glowing Iris, and this taupey cool tone palette is also stunning, but this one takes the cake for me for sure. It's really pretty and the shimmer is really interesting. That's the Flowing Haze palette. So I'm going to be using Glowing Iris, as you probably guessed, and I'm going to try to incorporate one or two of these eyeliners. I just practiced it on this eye. I wanted to get the creative juices going, and this is what I came up with. It's very abstract, but I love it. So now I'll show you how I achieved it. So I first took a little fluffy brush. This one's from Sydney Grace. It looks like this. It doesn't have a name. And I'm taking the lightest purple right here. I just love the packaging on these, and I love this cute little Ute. It's a little uterus. I think it's so cute. So I'm taking that light purple and I'm kind of sketching out my look first. So I first placed it here and I did a little circle, and then I directed the pigmentation outwards, like so. With that same purple, I did the same thing on the outer corner. A little circle. I made sure it was softly blended, and then I incorporated the second shade right here. It's so pretty. This is my favorite color from the palette. It's very pigmented too, so just take a little bit, and then I added a bit more concentration. right there. And then I switched to this Royal & Langnickel Balm 48 brush. It has a tapered point, so it's better to get the details. Then I just took a clean fluffy brush to kind of help diffuse everything. And then I took a detail brush. This is an e.l.f. small precision brush, and I took the dark purple, tiniest amount of that, and I kind of deepened it up right there. Just a little bit. I know it looks unblended right now, but then I did the same right here, just on the bottom. Taking that tapered brush, just gonna blend. And then I wiped off that original Sydney Grace brush, and I took that soft purple, the lightest one. I lightly bridged the gap right here, just lightly. And then I took the shimmer out of the palette with my finger, and I applied it to my mobile lid first, not connecting it just yet, like so. And then I took my brush and kind of scattered it up to make it all connect. I don't think I put enough. See, this one is a lot more defined in comparison. So I'm going to take a brush, a clean brush, and I'm going to try to remove that excess powder by applying a lot of pressure. It might get a little bit red, but at least it looks more crisp. And I'm just gonna deepen it up a little bit more to match the other side. Now I'm going to incorporate 2 of these liners. I picked the shades, oh my god, that is so tiny, Sea Sparkle and Night of Creation. So I'm going to start off with Night of Creation, which is the purple, and I took a little chunk and put it into the palm of my hand just so I can warm it up to my skin to make it more manageable. And I'm taking a Smith 203 brush. I'm just spreading that around just to get it to be more creamy. And then I did an eyeliner going out from my outer corner. And I did have to build this up a little bit. It's just because it's a shimmer. That side turned out to be a lot more thick. I'm gonna have to even that out now, which honestly will do the purple justice. You'll be able to see that shift a bit more. Just taking some concealer and a flat brush to clean that up. Taking a bit more of that liner, I deposited it right here. Deposited it, it felt weird to say. Deposited some right here. Oh, gave myself a little moustache. And then I took that lilac again, boop, 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 and laid it on top. Whoa, they're so pigmented. Beware. I'm just gonna even it out a little bit. I don't mind it. I kind of feel like it makes it look more like a butterfly. Abstract one, of course. Fun. And now I'm taking that other liner, the shade Sea Sparkle, and I did the same thing. But now I'm taking a Glisten number 2 brush, which is a very tiny, tiny detailed brush. And I'm going to add some fun details with this color. So I outlined this detail over here. Which I was really happy to see that it was able to do an outline job like that, and it makes it look really intense. So pretty. They're very creamy and intense, and I thought they were going to be very sparse if I were to do that, but it isn't. It looks like a liquid metal blue. It's so cool. I was just gonna leave it at that originally, but then I was like, this color's way too pretty. So I decided to highlight underneath this purple liner, kind of connecting it to the lower detail. And then I just took my little finger and applied that in my inner corner. Just a little sheer amount of it. And there's the eye look. It's very abstract, but I love it. It felt so fun to do it. It's different, and I like it. And here are the eyes all finished. I am so in love with this eye look. It's so cool. I'm mesmerized. And the mascara I used was the About Face 1994 mascara. This is only my second time using it. I like it, but not as much as the Tower 28 one. That one has me in a chokehold. It is so good. This one is really good as well, but I prefer the Tower 28. So for lips, I'm going to be going in with one of the new Nabla lip liners. I love how they packaged this. I might keep it like this. It's really fun to look at. But they launched 6 more lip liners. These are the original colors. I'll swatch them in a minute here, but for my lip options, I have the new Cosmetics Soft Spoken Liquid Lipsticks. I think these are the replacements for the lip clouds. I think they're phasing them out now, and they look really pretty. I feel like there's a few shades missing. I loved the lip clouds, so I'm a little bit sad to see them go, but we'll see. We'll see if I like these. These are the 5 colors I have. The first one is Whisper, then that one is Manifest, then we have Petal, then down over here we have Tender, and the last one is Intuition. So we have those, and I'm also going to swatch all of these from Laura Mercier. These are the Petal Soft Lipstick Crayons. I'll be right back. And here are the Laura Mercier ones swatched. So over here we have Zoe. This one is Laura. This one is Leah. And the last one for that row is Maya. Moving down over here, we have Camille, then Augustine. Then over here is Ophélie. And this last one is Elodie. They're a lot more sheer than I was expecting. These two right here are more pigmented than the rest. They look kind of like different formulas, but they look cute nonetheless. I want to try one of these Cosmetics ones on first because I feel like I'm going to land on one of the Laura Mercier ones. This is the shade Whisper. It's very smoothing. It's like erasing my lip lines. It feels like a silicone-y lip product, kind of like the Rare Beauty Lip Soufflés or the MAC Liquefied Powder Kisses, anything like that. But this is like ultra blurring. Wow. Too curious. I want to try another color. They feel really nice. This is the shade Intuition. That is so fun to apply. It just glides on. Not right for this look, but fun nonetheless. And last set of swatches for today, these are all of the Nabla lip liners. So we have Nude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have Nude 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. So you can see that this is like the nude range, and then it gets pinky. So it makes sense. I was wondering why they just didn't continue naming them like 7, 8, 9, 10 and on. That's cool. It's the same kind of tonal, like Nude 1 right here looks the same level as Nude 1.5, if you know what I mean. I'm going to be using the shade 2.5 because I feel like we need to go with the pink since the cheeks are pink, and I feel like that will be the most flattering for this eye look. I didn't want to go in with something too crazy because it's obviously an eye focused look. I think that's the same color I went in with in last video. Sorry. And I'm going to be using the shade Maya from the Laura Mercier lipsticks, which seem to deliver kind of a sheerer wash, but it builds up on you. Not the most unique. They feel kind of familiar, like I've seen this before, but cute, and it performs well. And here is the finished final makeup done. I love today's look. It was so fun, and a lot of these products feel very promising. So I want to go through them one by one and give you my first impression thoughts. So first, starting off with the Underglow primer from Iconic London. I think this is very beautiful. I'm excited to try it out with other foundations, of course, but it feels quite promising for a primer. It did even out my skin and my texture and such. It did soften it out, and I like how it gives that gorgeous glow all over. I'm usually not much of a primer person, but this one has me excited. And moving on to the Iconic London Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint, I am so excited about this product. I think this is the highlight product of the day. I am so excited to do my makeup tomorrow. I'm going to be using this one for sure. I'm interested to see how it wears. I'm not going to be doing a wear test today, sadly, because it is 8 o'clock at night, but I will be wearing this throughout the month. I am very surprised by this product. At first, I wasn't that excited about it, but it is special. it feels special. And I feel like my skin looks super smooth and blurred and glowy at the same time, which when does that ever happen? Usually it's like one or the other. If you have super glowy products, sometimes it's very texture enhancing. So for these products to do two of my favorite things in one, I'm excited. Moving on to the powder, I did not like this under my eyes, but I love it on my face. I think it was a match made in heaven, especially with the Iconic Linden products. Like, wow, I can't stop looking at my forehead. I know it's a lot of fun happening on my eyes right now, but every time I look at myself in the mirror, I look at my forehead because it is so freaking smooth. I'm very happy about that. I love being blurred. So this is promising. I like this so much more than the original Laura Mercier translucent powder. Very promising. Moving on to the Patrick Ta palette. I'm gonna have to give this one a fail for me. In my preferences, I don't like this palette actually. I do like the blush color I have on, but I feel like I already have blushes this shade in my collection, and this just does not suit my preferences. I feel like I'm going to be really picky here, and I just know I wouldn't use it. I really don't like the highlighting duo in here, and I prefer all my other Patrick Ta duos if I'm being honest. I know this would go unused. Kind of sad, but I really don't like this year's holiday palette. Moving on to the Kaleidos collection, I am amazed, especially by this palette. These colors are so beautiful and so unique. And not only are they stunning to look at, they perform incredibly well. They're so pigmented, but I don't understand how they're so easy to work with. And the shimmer in here is beautiful. It's my kind of preferred type of shimmer, where it kind of looks like a shimmer and a topper in one, if you know what I mean. There's a couple sizes of glitter in here, and I feel like it just adds so much dimension, and it's very eye-catching and just gorgeous through and through. These are just incredible eyeshadows. I always say this, but they know what they're doing with their eyeshadow formula. I'm always left feeling amazed. They did a fantastic job on this collection. I feel very touched by it, and I just love the color story. I really enjoy these as well. These eyeliners are fun, and I actually enjoy these more just because they're thick and they're big. I think I like these more than the Danessa Myricks ones, and I'm going to show you why. Because the Danessa Myricks ones are so thin, and if you like feel the packaging, it's very like frail feeling and it feels very bendy, and the actual liner is very thin and tiny, which might be fun for some precise looks, but I kind of prefer the wider eyeliner, just because you can cover more space and you're not going to run through the pencil so fast. That's why I actually hardly reach for these anymore, just because every time I use one, I use a ton of the pencil. So I think I'm kind of leaning more towards these guys. And moving on to the lipsticks. First off, the M Cosmetics ones, I didn't end up wearing one of them, but they felt really nice and interesting. They're super blurring, so I'm gonna have to try these out again. I'm not going to talk any further about those right now, just because I didn't really experience them through and through. But for the Laura Mercier little lipsticks here, I don't feel that excited about them if I'm being honest. They feel very basic, but they perform well, and it is lovely. I feel like it's not texture enhancing. Like, I feel like my lips look really nice and smooth, so that's fun. And the colors are really cute, so maybe if you're drawn to them, you'd like them, but for me, they're not doing it for me. For no specific reason. I think I'm just being picky here, and I didn't get that excitement. There isn't a shade that really speaks to me that I would see myself wanting to reach for every day. Before I forget, I want to touch on the Nabla lip liners quickly. Of course, this is an older formula. They just extended the shade range. I think they're stunning. Very smooth, very creamy, and I like how they dry matte. They wear a really long time as well, so I'm happy to have new colors. But there we have it. Those are all my thoughts on the new products I tried out today. Let me know your thoughts and experiences with any of these products if you've tried them. So excited about this. I can't even tell you. But I'm going to wrap up this video now. I really hope you enjoyed today's full face of new makeup. If you did, please give this video a like, and I'll make sure to list and link everything I used in the description down below just to make it easier for you guys. So feel free to check that out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!